I just had an exhibition at Gallery Living Lab in Taoyuan, Taiwan, and I'm gonna go through it and talk a little bit about the idea of the show. The title of the show is called Dark Kaleido and Cafe Creatures. So I broke it up into two sections. So here's the gallery in the front, and then in the back there's a cafe. And so I put kind of two series of works in this exhibition. So the Dark Kaleido here, it refers to dark refers to sort of the hidden or obscured elements of life that kind of affect us and come together. And the kaleidoscope, the Kaleido thing is like the remix. You know, you can spin the kaleidoscope and all the little pieces of glass will remix, and you get all kinds of different patterns and designs depending on how they are arranged. And so this part of the exhibition is all about that. So this wall has 120 woodcuts from my two graphic novels. And so the idea of this is kind of, they're not in the order of the story, they're all remixed. And I think that if you read the graphic novels, you'll get, of course, a very different story than if you look at these kind of out of order. I sort of tried to group them thematically and maybe visually, but I like the kind of loose association you can get from just kind of putting them all out on the wall like this. And it was a lot of fun to view it in this way. And so here the Dark Kaleido is the underlying story elements that all come together that make the graphic novels happen. And sort of individual little parts and what happens if we put them out of order. I also like the idea of looking at these without the context of the story. Because there's a lot of pretty weird things going on, and without having the benefit of the text to kind of tell you about it, I'm interested in people's reactions. One of the most interesting things to me was seeing which ones people like the most, and it's never, or almost never, the ones that I like the most. And so it's fun hearing about why and which ones. So one thing I really liked was that I have this giant woodcut on the left here. This is half of a big woodcut installation, and it's actually the piece that the graphic novels are based out of. And so it's a giant landscape. It's 8 feet tall by 35 feet long. But I kind of like how the pages from the graphic novel make it look small in this context. So for this piece, the sort of Dark Kaleido is representing the setting, the environment where things happen, right? One of the sort of mysteries of existence is, how do our surroundings affect our life, our society, our interactions? So the other main piece for this show is this one here. This was finished just before the exhibition. And this is about how our personal identity is formed by the various people that we come into contact with, and also the kind of setting that we're in. So there's kind of references here to the universe, there's references here to the nervous system as well as to technology, but also there's all kinds of faces moving in and out of this sort of tapestry. So this is like a self-portrait, but it's a self-portrait drawn with the sort of mysterious connections as the subject. And it's the second piece in a series. This was the first piece for the series. The series is kind of about emergent phenomena in nature. So this is about schooling fish and how the very simple sort of instructions that they receive, right? Whatever the behavior of the fish immediately in your vicinity are, will affect your behavior. But when you look at it from a higher level, we see these beautiful like superorganism, the whole school moving as if it were one. So there's this kind of mysterious underlying maybe math to our lives that we can't really see, but it's there. The composition for this piece was inspired by cellular automata, which is a kind of an idea base. Basically, it's a spreadsheet, and whatever the cell adjacent to you is, if it's black or white, it'll affect whether you are black or white. Simple instructions like this, and from that you can get really complex and beautiful patterns. So this is a portrait of a musician, Andre van Rensburg, who's a friend of mine. And the abstract pattern in the top is his musical notation. Interested in kind of how that notation, the sort of abstraction of the notation, kind of filters through the body and comes out as music. And I think there's a lot of mystery to that as well. So the theme, right, is all of the kind of mysterious underlying elements And so the last part of this section are these two abstract ones. And so I always use the abstract as kind of a shorthand for the mystery. You can see this kinds of abstract patterns through a lot of my work. And I kind of like it as a sort of omnipresent aspect that really gotta, I don't know, you can look at it a million different ways and come out with a million different interpretations of it. I'm a big fan of that complexity. I'm also a big fan of the very simple language of woodcut, black and white woodcut especially, where you either carve it away or you don't. Only two choices, but from these very simple choices, you get this amazing complexity. So that's kind of overarching theme of my work over the past, I guess, 15 years. So into the back, into the cafe. These are the cafe creatures portion. So after a lot of intense works, maybe these are kind of more fun, cute kind of animal things. And I like in Taiwan where you go into a cafe and there's always like drawings of cute animals and stuff. So this is my kind of take on that. Just a nice palate cleanser, maybe, for the first part of the show. So thanks to Bojuan, who works at Gallery Living Lab, for sending me these photos. And thank you to Living Lab for hosting the exhibition. It's a beautiful space. If you ever find yourself in Zhongli in Taoyuan, Taiwan, definitely go have a look. They've put on some great exhibitions so far, and I look forward to all their future shows.